welcome back to my channel. That was very silly to say that. My name is Helen. I'm a wife and mom of two boys, a 2.5-year-old and a 2-month-old now. I wanted to share today just some things that I really am not caring too much about as a second-time mom. Hopefully this will be insightful to you, maybe give you things to think about if you're a first-time mom and are feeling stresses about just everything that you see online regarding taking care of a baby. I don't know. You just learn so much when you go through it yourself, but I know that for me, I've always loved hearing others' experiences and trying to learn from others, but also just knowing every baby is different and you do what's best for you and your family. But baby is napping right now and my mother-in-law has my oldest, and so I thought I'd sit down and try to film this while I have some time. And I don't have a great spot to film, and so I'm like uncomfortably sitting on my like squatting kind of and have the phone up on a dresser. I'm making it happen. I don't know. So I thought I would write down my points, but I really didn't, so I'm just gonna ramble. Something that I'm not worried about as a second-time mom is nap schedules, like sleep and feeding schedules. That's come to change now because I'm wanting to get my baby on a schedule probably by the time he's 3 months old, 4 months old, whenever his circadian rhythm actually develops, because when my husband works, he works a second shift, so he's working 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tuesday to Friday, and then he works all day Saturday, and so I'm so low for bedtimes, and I'd love for my baby to be on like a set bedtime earlier so that my toddler, who stays up later, like he goes to bed between 8:30 and 9 normally, that I can just be with him one-on-one in the late evenings before he goes to bed. And so that's the goal. But for the newborn days and for right now, I was just, feeding on demand, letting him sleep when he's tired. It's become a little more predictable when he naps now, but when I was a first-time mom, I let the scheduling like totally stress me out, and every nap I would try it in the crib or in the bassinet. It was so like stressful, and if he didn't go down, it would be like the end of the world. It would ruin the day, and I just didn't want that this time around. Like, I'm not doing a nap routine. We're not doing like swaddle, read a book, blackout curtains, sound machine. Like, basically I'm just following like the eat, play, sleep kind of like rhythm to the day for him. And so, like I said, like his naps have become a little more predictable. At this point though, he's not like ready to go down for the night until like after 9 p.m. and I just have to be okay with that for now. Like I said, once his circadian rhythm actually develops, I think I'll be able to maybe do more of a 7:30 p.m. bedtime for the little one. So that's one thing. Another, like I kind of mentioned, is blackout curtains. So my toddler still has blackout curtains in his room where I am right now. So we have blackout curtains in here just because that's what we always did for him. But I was not about to add blackout curtains back to our bedroom, having the baby in there with us, because I just know it was so difficult for me to get up in the morning when our room was totally dark still. And my first son, he'd get up around 7 a.m. when he was a baby and sleeping in with us, and it was just so hard for me to get up with him. And so we didn't do that this time, which I think is a really good thing, because it helped really quickly, helped our newborn get used to like what's daytime and what's nighttime, and it helped me to not feel like a total zombie after all the night wakings and feedings. Another thing I'm not trying to worry too much about is having a set schedule or routine for each day. Since becoming a full-time stay-at-home mom, I do know it's important to have like certain rhythms in place, but especially during the whole transition of adding our second baby to the family, I was just like, you know what? It's gonna be a time of transition. It's gonna be a time where I'm resting, healing, recovering, and I just can't stress about being right back to our normal like daily routines and daily outings and whatever. So I really just had to learn to let that stuff go this time, and I think it was really beneficial, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're adding a new baby to your family. You don't have to have all your your chores done, all your daily things done, just like bare minimum. Are the babies fed? Are they changed? Are they happy and having fun? Like, we've had a lot of days just at home, and like bare minimum is done, like a load of laundry and empty the dishwasher and run it again that night, like, and all the cleaning kind of got put off, and that was okay because I was healing, bonding with baby, making sure my toddler still felt loved and cared for. So it was a lot of, I don't know, I feel like the first time with just my first son, I was really like hard on myself to have things in the house back in order and everything clean and being back to like normal capacity when I was recovering from my induced labor all the way to complete pushing C-section. And the first happened again this time actually. If you'd like to hear birth story of my second baby, maybe a little quick recap of with my first baby, I'd love to do that. So I don't know, like and comment, subscribe, let me know if you'd like to see birth story videos. But yeah, so with my first, I really was like, I don't know, just stressed about that and hard on myself to get back into things. And I didn't want to do that this time around, especially because I had a lot more to process through this time, because leading up to his birth, I was really just like planning for and praying for and hoping for a vaginal birth and a natural spontaneous labor, and that just wasn't our story this time. So I released, I don't know, that control. I released that expectation on myself and focused on bonding with both of my sons and healing. Another was not having baby given a bath at the hospital. Like, I let them rinse out his hair and wash off the ink on his feet from the footprints. I was like, I'm not gonna do the hospital bath, because with my first, they did that like his second day of life, and I kind of regret that. So this time we didn't do that, and we've given baby a bath at home. Like, at first it was like at his 2 weeks old, we gave him his first little bath in the sink, and then I've kind of done a bath once a week. I didn't make it part of like the bedtime routine, because again, he doesn't really have a bedtime routine at this point because he's still not like, he's just not fully developed in that way yet. And I might, you know, in the future when he's 4 months old and older, I don't know, but for right now it's one bath a week, and I'm not worried about it too much. Also this time around, I'm not pumping, I'm exclusively breastfeeding, which technically I guess I was exclusively breastfeeding with my first, and I did all the way until he was like 20 months old, but I had also been, especially in the early weeks and months, I was using a electric breast pump to pump. I did at least once a day at night at like 10 p.m. and I was always so tired, but then it was like if I didn't, I would be so engorged through the night or in the morning, and of course pumping caused an oversupply, and so I would be engorged anyways. It was like this time around, I'm like, I don't need to do that to myself. Like, I'm gonna be breastfeeding on demand, like feeding whenever baby's hungry, and we don't really need a stash of milk. In the first couple weeks, I did use my like Mandela handheld manual breast pump and I can link that below. I really love it. It was helpful for me in just getting some relief. So we have a handful of bags of milk in the freezer, and we've done a bottle with him a couple of times. You know, my mom's done a bottle, my husband has done a bottle, but it's just, I'm with him all the time, so I don't need to do that. I don't know, that's just something I was like not wanting to do because I really hated pumping. And I'm so grateful that I don't have to pump. I have actually 2 close personal friends of mine that have had to like exclusively pump, and that just sounds so hard. So I'm very grateful that I'm blessed to be able to just breastfeed, and things have been going so well. I feel like there were other things on my mind when I had the idea to film this type of video, but of course I didn't write them down, so I'm just kind of like talking and saying things as they've come to mind. But I think that's all I'm gonna share. Again, if you would like to hear birth stories, I'd love to share those. Like and comment on this video, and yeah, I'll try to really want to keep this up. And thanks for watching.